Well, hello everyone. In my last episode, I was talking about those of you who may have relapsed and a few of the concepts on relapsing. I did mention the word trigger a few times. Just want to elaborate on trigger, what a trigger is. Basically, like a trigger of a gun. When you pull the trigger of the gun, you know, things happen. Now, a trigger is a person, place, a thing that will activate a craving for whatever person is abstaining from, denying their flesh from, whether it's, you know, alcohol abuse, substance abuse, Overeaters Anonymous, just all kind of things. There's behavioral addictions and all these different kinds of addictions. So a trigger is something that need to be aware of what it is, what your triggers are, what might spark off that craving, get that dopamine going in your head and the reward system going for the likeness of whatever that thing is that you are trying to stay away from. Now just think of a trigger. When you pull the trigger on a gun, a bullet comes out. Okay, when you activate a trigger on something you're abstaining from, something you're delivered from, something that you are actually being rehabilitated from, your rehabilitation state, when you are abstaining from that thing and you get around triggers, it's going to activate that craving, that desire, that want. And in some cases, if you are physically addicted, that need. Those who have been delivered from and set free from addictive drugs where your body depends on it, you have to really, really be careful of your triggers and know what your triggers are, who your triggers are, where your triggers are, and what. And it usually comes from a lot of the things you used to like to do, people you used to like to be around, and places you like to go to previously. Because that's that environment that got you into that place in the first time before you have rehabilitated yourself and stopped using those drugs, things, or whatever it may be, life altering issues. So, a trigger, write down what your triggers are, note them in your mind, see who, where, what are your triggers, and be very mindful of where you go, who you go around, and what you are doing. Because if it's going to bring those pleasures and cravings back to your mind, the old ways, and even a trigger can be actually reminiscing on the good old days, reminiscing on the fun you had, the times you had, people and places and things you've done in the past. Don't dwell on that. No, 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 no. Forget about that. The only time you need to go back to that place is once you are delivered and you are trying to help someone else out of that atmosphere. And even then, be very, very careful of going back to places to try to help a family member and or friend until you have been delivered for a period of time where you know without a shadow of a doubt, you cannot be tempted with those triggers. Triggers, triggers, triggers. Triggers are the thing that activates relapse. I spoke about relapse on the last episode, and you might want to go back to that one. Comment in the bottom. If you have questions about triggers or relapse, comment in the bottom, and hopefully you can follow me. You know, I do Facebook, I do Instagram, so a few of them, and it's all the same logo, New Creations. I want you to be a new creation. Okay? So I want you to be blessed exceedingly abundantly above all that you can think or ask. God bless. I am signing out.